Today we are becoming mindful of our spiritual connection with Spirit. Mindful of the fact that we are children of God. So as I speak to you today, I will own that I do not own this. I will own that I am aware of it, and I try, but I have not yet mastered this fully. So know that what I share with you now is from Spirit and from good intentions. And from what Jesus gave us to do. Okay?
Okay.
All right. When we are manifesting, it's easy to remember that you're a child of God, isn't it? I want that. God, help me. I'm a child of God. Make that happen. And we make it happen, and it's fabulous, right? We know we're children of God because we ask God to help us out. And then when we get it, how do we maintain it? Do we maintain it as if we're children of God? No, most of the time. Most of the time now we become vulnerable to it. Now we don't know what to do with it. Now it's, I don't know if it's a 2 on the Richter scale of creations or a 10. Maybe a little heavier than I thought. You see? But when we're manifesting, we know we're children of God, don't we? We really call it forth. So I want you to realize that you know that you're a child of God. We all do. It's how do we own that knowing? All right. All right, so we are children of God having experiences that are interesting. These experiences are sometimes by design, sometimes they're karma, sometimes we're just dealing with issues, sometimes we're growing. But does that make us any less child of God? So, God does not tell us you are a perfect human. God says you are my perfect child. Do you see? So if we are God's perfect child, what should we be perfect in? Should we have already mastered all this stuff? We're a child of God, we're growing. But we should have attributes of God. We should be expressing those things that are of God. Truth, light, beauty, love, joy, commitment, dedication, focus, force. Do you see? All of those things flowing through us, that connects us with being a child of God. And what takes us off that? When we look at the world around us and we go into the human aspect. And how many of you say, I'm a perfect human? Not one hand in the air. Is it even possible to be a perfect human? Is it even possible to stay in a frequency where we're analyzing our value based on what we see around us? The human experience, to look at the world and let the world define you. To look at what's happening and let it define you. To interact with it and let it define you. We can have some awesome highs. And we're going to have some awesome lows in this human world. And maybe that's what the perfect child of God has come to do, to have these experiences while knowing they are perfect child of God. But the truth is, you can have an experience as child of God, the same as the human trying next to you. The difference is you will not carry that experience with you, and you will not let it define you. The human will let it define them, and they'll carry it with them. So can you see how we play both sides? Okay. Do you want to move through this? Okay. I'd like to start with some things that Jesus said about us. And I'm going to start with chapter 139 to give us a basis to go from. In 139 in the Aquarian, Jesus has just met the blind man and he healed him. And this is the one time where he told the blind man he had put a salve of clay on his eyes and said, go wash in the river and say, Javahe 7 times, and you'll be healed. And then Jesus went his way. Jesus did not know what happened to the blind man. The blind man did what he was told, but because he was a faithful Jew and he was healed on a Sunday, he was hauled into the court of the synagogue. And at the synagogue, he was put basically on the trial, so to speak. Who healed you? He said, I do not know. This guy, I think they call him Jesus. Well, who is Jesus? He goes, I don't know. You should know who he is. You guys are healers. You should know. How dare you tell us what we should do? How dare you speak this way to us? If you keep speaking this way, we will excommunicate you from the Jewish faith. Kind of Catholic there, huh? And the young man said, you know what? Do what you need to do. All I know is I was blind, the man came, he told me what to do, I did it, I see he is a man of God and you cannot tell me otherwise. And he got his exit papers. He got his walking papers from the Jewish church. When Jesus heard the story, this is the only time that Jesus seeks out someone he healed after the fact that we know of. When Jesus heard what the man did and let himself willingly get kicked out of the only foundation to God that he knew, Jesus sought him out. Jesus found him and said to him these words, "Do you believe in God and the Son of God?" And the man said, "I do believe in God, but who is he, the Son of God, of whom you speak?" And Jesus said, "The Son of God is he who speaks to you." And the man said, "Why do you say the Son of God? Is there only one?" Is this a smart man? This is a smart blind man. And then Jesus said, "All men are sons of God by birth. God is Father of the race, but not all are sons of God by faith. He who attains victory over himself is son of God by faith, and he who speaks to you has overcome. He is called Son of God because he is pattern for the sons of men. He who believes and does the will of God is son of God by faith." And the man said, "I believe in God and in the Son of God." And that's when Jesus explained to him what happened in the healing, and this man became a part of the ministry of the Christ. But I want you to hear what Jesus tells this man. All men are son of God by birth. All men have the Christ divinity within them. We are animated, we're Christ. But until we waken to be faith, in faith, connect, and then stand in the will of God, we cannot know ourselves as son of God. Are you guys hearing me? Okay. In chapter 84, he says, "God is spirit, and in him all wisdom, love, and strength abide. In every man, these sacred attributes are budding forth, and in due time will be completed, and man will comprehend the fact of unity. He is God's child. And the budding attributes, wisdom, love, and strength. The attributes of God. Wisdom, love, and strength. Wisdom, will, and strength. Wisdom, love, wisdom, and will. Will and strength are the same. Will and strength. And in God will is wisdom, love, and strength. You guys following me? Child of God. Child of love, wisdom, will, and strength. Breathe it in. Jesus goes on to define this on several other occasions, where he says, God is within, God is Father. And the moment when someone said to him, he was speaking, and they said, "Your sister and your mom and your brothers are here to talk to you." And remember, Jesus said, "Who is my family? Who is my brother, my sister, my mom?" And he turns to the crowd and he says, "Every man who loves God, who does God's will, is my brother, my sister, my mother, my family." This is what connects us all, because when we are in this realm, we are in the will of God and we are God's child. Now, most of you think will of God means you're a puppet. I think that if you're a puppet of God, and that's all you are, to do God's will, to come in and you're his puppet, life would not be so complicated here. I don't think you'd have as many choices as you have. I don't think you'd get as sad as you get. I don't think you'd get as disconnected as you get. I just don't think that's true. I think that we come for some wonderful experience to learn, grow, and evolve. But in God is the plan for us. In God is the plan we chose for this incarnation, the master plan for us. And when we say being in God's will, we are in the energy of what? Love, wisdom, strength, all in God's will. If I'm in God's will, I am love, wisdom, and strength. And if I follow it, I'll be on my master plan for me. And it won't be so up and down. Are you guys getting it? Do you already know all this? Do you want to hear more?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
When we know God is wisdom, and we want to access that, don't we? But as in our human society, which we live in this human world, we go to the grocery store, we cook our food, we have relationships, we enjoy life, we grow things, we are in this world. God wisdom is in this world. God love is in this world. And God will and strength is in this world. Well, I will share with you, because I'm being vulnerable today, my trip up. I do pretty good with God wisdom. Show me what to do, God. I know I don't know. Y'all remember the definition of a master? A master is one through whom the answer can be found. So I know I don't know. I'll turn to God. God will tell me. What does that make me, guys?
Master.
I love that. Thank you. We're all masters when we know that we can turn to God and get the answer that's needed. But what trips me up is love. Love trips me up. I am still looking for human love. I own that, and I don't know why. I just don't know why. So I've been working with God about that. Why is human love so important to me when I know God love? Do you see? I know God love. So it must be important to me still. But when you ask the question, and I want you to ask this question, in God love, could your friends still handle you if you were in God love? In God love where there are no victims? In God love where everything's going to work out if you follow the light? Will your friends put up with that? Or would you have to find a different set of people to hang? How about your lovers and your partners and those you're intimate with? What if you knew God love? Could they handle that? Don't we want that human love from them? Love me, and don't we automatically say, I'm child of God, oh no, wait, I'm with my partner now. Okay, wait, how are we doing, partner? What do I need to do to make you happy so I can feel some of your sweet, tender love? Do you see what I'm saying? How are we doing? And then we go into this place of how does the human do the dance of love now? Wait a minute, I know there's a human dance of love. How does the human do that? And we drop into that space. And then what if our lover doesn't give back? Then what do we do?
I'll cry.
Am I a child of God in that moment?
Yes.
Do I know I'm a child of God in that moment? No. I am the lowest of lows and the weakest of weak. And my poor little ego is shattered. Because I cannot get the human love I need. Does anybody understand?
Yes.
And we live in a world of God love. We live in a world of God love. But we need that human connection. Am I the only one?
No. Absolutely.
So I walk in this morning saying, I'm going to be a child of God, I'm going to live in your love, God, and I'm not going to need human love anymore. I'm just going to do that, God, I'm going to try. So I walk in this morning and I'm trying to do that, and then my son and my daughter-in-law sit on the front row, and my spiritual daughter and her beloved husband sit next to them. And I almost cried. Because even as I give up human love, there's human love. Do you hear what I'm saying? So what is God telling me? Human love is good. Human love is good. But we can't drop to stop being child of God to get it. We have to stay in child of God. And when I'm in child of God and you are in child of God, we are all one. And we feel that love, don't we? And if I choose to know God love, all the love I need will come to me. And that includes the human love. Do you guys see the ride we're on?
Yes.
We can take this ride on every level. I cannot tell you how often you go to your job and your child of God energy has just become subservient to human will. Beautiful, radiant child of God, I'm doing your will, God. Okay, wait. Okay, my boss wants this, and I've got to do that, and I've got to do that, and God, you're over here. Do you hear what I'm saying? Instead of bringing child of God to work, going to work and boss says, I want this. Oh, yay, let me see. Okay, yeah, God showed me how to do that. That's great. Okay, yep. Don't think I'm going to get to that today. I don't know why I'm feeling it, but I'm just giving you a heads up. It doesn't feel like it's going to happen today, but maybe we'll get to it later. What do you think our boss would say? Actually, if they get used to you, they might say, well, you're always right, so I trust you. There must be a reason we're going to do it later. It comes back around right. Do you see? But we don't do this, do we? We do the human. We drop to the human. So our wisdom, our love, our strength is divine. We live in a sea of God love. And we can breathe it in at will. It says, God feeds man in the air. Breathe in what you need. Breathe it in at will. And we open our eyes and we say, I love this place, God, it's great. I love all these humans. How can I pattern and connect with some of them and get love? How can I be acceptable? Maybe I need to shift so I can pull energy in this way, okay? Now I need to do this to give you energy this way. You see? Now we're patterning after what we see in the outer world. So I'm getting it.
I'm getting it.
And I love it. God said, our world is such an intertwined, dependent situation. It's an intertwined, dependent situation right now. That it's very difficult for us to hold the idea that we're children of God. Because we are intertwined with each other, which is not the issue, but the patterns of you have to look like I can recognize you, or you have to be successful, or you have to this, or you have to benefit me somehow, or I don't have anything to do with you. Are you all hearing me? We need energy to live, and if you're not getting it from God, where are you going to get it from? If you're not getting it from God, who are you going to get your energy from? People. You're going to look to people. You're going to grab energy from people. You're going to say, make me feel good about myself. You're going to grab energy from people, and people will get tired. And then somebody new will come, and you'll grab energy from that. Now, is that how we want to live?
No.
In God guidance is all wisdom, love, and will. We as God's children can interact with the world, and we can enjoy creating, stimulating, elevating, and yes, doing the dance of love. Even the human dance of love as child of God. Have you ever met someone that says, gosh, you're just so light and happy, and you're just so free, and you're just sharing your heart with me, and you don't even know me? You're, yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Is that not a dance of love? People don't know what to do with you.
That's true. That's a fact.
But they'll laugh, but they'll remember you. They'll remember you. Because you were one of those people that just was being God's child. We have those moments. We do have those moments. I know you all have those moments, right? But we also have the others. Where we forget. Jesus said, be in the world, but not of the world. Do you remember? Be in the world, but not of the world. Of the world is to fit in what has already been created. Let me find my way. Have you ever seen a brand new baby? I've seen several of them doing this to their moms. They'll look in their mommy's eyes and they're blank because they're maybe not born expecting to remember. Metaphysical babies we expect to remember. Tell me what's happening in heaven. You know? So that typically doesn't happen. But just babies that come in, they look in their moms and they go, tell me how it is here. What do I need to do? And they've got this blank energy like, pattern me. Help me survive. And you can just see them downloading the mother's consciousness. Taking it in. Because they're in the world now. And they don't have a reference for this world, this life, this era, this age. Right? We want to be in the world, but not of the world. We want to be in the world and breathing and believing and being still connected as the divine child of God. And we want to welcome those babies onto the planet, knowing they are bringing knowledge and God will and God love with them, and look in their eyes and expect them to talk to you. Expect them to know themselves. And that will give them the greatest blessing. All right. Being in the world, you're fitting into what already exists. If we're in the world and not of the world, we are the light coming to interact. What would you lose by being a child of God? Most of us, you might lose a lover. You might lose a job. You might lose friends. You might lose patterns that don't serve you any longer. You might lose a lot being a child of God. But what would you gain? You would move into the awareness of the oneness of Creator. And you know, when we talk about owning our mission, our spirituality, that mission is a real thing that you wanted to experience this lifetime. You did not come just to wake up. You came to wake up and become greater. You came to wake up and create and enjoy and be in this beautiful human body that can resurrect itself, that can procreate, that can have wonderful experiences. You came for those things. And your specific spiritual journey is not mine. It's yours. You are children of God. When I was a little baby and they said all the snowflakes were different, that's kind of hard to take in. How is that possible? How in the world of creation, in all of the all, is it possible to have this many dang snowflakes different? How many millions, billions, billions, billions? Think of all the snow. Seriously. And that's us. So we come together, we may look like a snowstorm, but we're actually individually sparked beings of God, here to do something fabulous and wonderful. How do you feel? Okay. When you get tired of crying that the world doesn't give you what you want, I ask you to remember this. There is a world where everything you need is already there. And that's the world of God. Everything you need is already there. Child of God. And it's just shifting our perspective and being willing to move in the wisdom, the love, and the light of God. Now, as I opened, I shared with you I have not mastered this. So you will see me crying some more, I'm sure, about all my human stuff, which is fabulous. I have some fabulous human stuff. I don't go small. If I'm going to have human stuff, I'm going to go big. So I will have my experiences, but I hope at the end of the day, I will remember who I am. And I do have one person in my world that when I am falling, apart, that voice can always say, take a breath and remember who you are. No matter what's happening. When I call some of you, it scares you if I'm falling apart. Do you know that? You can't fall apart. Don't fall apart, Cindy. But this person has seen me fall apart his whole life. And he knows I'm going to come back around. And that's David. I can just pick up the phone and hear him talk to me. And I just say, talk me off the ledge, dude. And he does. I want all of us to have that point of divinity where someone sees you. And I can be that for most of you. But everyone needs someone that you can pick up the phone and say, I'm not a child of God right now. And they can listen and say, okay, child of God. Look for that as we're moving into these spaces. Look for that. Be that for one another. Hold the light for each other. Step into that. And if one of us can do it, all of us can do it. And just because I haven't succeeded fully yet doesn't mean you won't. If one of us can do it, all of us can do it. And as we strive to move into this abundance realization of goodness, we all can lift up together. See how easy it can be? So, if I said, human, child of God, where you want to stand, having human experiences. Child of God learning what this world of creation is about. Child of God seeing and walking in the miraculousness of watching light dance in people's eyes and hearts. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing when we hit it, isn't it? When we are a child of God in this human place, it's wonderful, it's magnificent. We just have to choose. And we are in the month of mindfulness. So it starts with a choice, and then it is mindful awareness. How often? Daily. Every moment, every day. Mindful awareness daily. All right, so you ready to anchor this in? All right, let's put our feet on the floor. Take a beautiful breath of the love that fills this room, the love that is all around you. And feel the God presence. No man takes that from you. You are in the sea of God love. Let's breathe it in again. Breathe in God, light, and love. This is mine by divine right. And I want you to feel God's presence moving through you. And you'll feel that the presence of love is what creates the calm and flood around you. You don't even have to visualize or consciously create it. It's there. As I breathe in the love of God, I'm in the presence of God. And Father, Mother God, I ask that you touch each heart this morning with your sense of peace and joy. Touch each heart. And I want you to become aware of the chair beneath you. And I want you to feel your feet on the floor and say, I am in the physical right now. And this dimension is God. I am in God's time and space. It is not separate. Let your focus go to your heart. I am child of God. In this time and space. And now visualize the energy all around you. Feel the love of the Christ within and the love of Jesus Christ standing by your side. Just feel the love. And I want you to see and feel the energy as I say these words. God wisdom. God strength. God will. God love. Fill me now. And I am free to be me. And feel yourself lifting up. Feel a lightness coming into the physical. And I am now connected with all God love. With one each in the room, with one another, we're connected. In God love, all is. And if you're ready, you can choose to have your experiences from this space. I choose to do the dance of love from here, held in your heart. And let's take a breath, and as we exhale, send love to humanity. To all of our brothers and sisters on the planet, to all of humanity. We are all connected in this space. And God, I ask you bless each one who hears my voice, that they know they are your divine child. Already perfect. Nothing to earn. Only to own. And I thank you for this. And we thank you, Jesus Christ, for showing us this and giving us a pattern. And so just take a breath. You can gently open your eyes. Could you feel that light? Are you glad you're here? Beautiful children of God, I honor you. I celebrate you. And I thank you for coming to celebrate me. Say,